In an instant, the girl's fragile sense of freedom vanished. She was shoved harshly into the cramped bamboo cage, where other trembling young girls were already huddled together. The bandits coldly ordered them not to make a single sound, or they would be killed on the spot and their bodies tossed into the fire. Fear gripped her heart. Her stomach twisted as she realized she had fallen into the hands of merciless predators. The other girls, sharing the same fate, exchanged hopeless glances, none daring to speak a word. Outside, the cruel laughter of the bandits echoed through the night, mingling with the crackling of the fire. The girl could only wrap her thin arms around herself, praying this was just a nightmare that would soon vanish, though reality was far harsher than she could bear. After capturing the girls, the bandits built a small camp on the hillside. They discussed their next move, to march down into the village, in the valley, where they believed it would be easy to seize more captives. Meanwhile, a villager happened to be heading toward the well to fetch water. As he approached, he heard strange voices drifting through the night, so unlike the usual quiet. Alarmed, he crouched low, hiding behind a bush to observe more carefully. Through the leaves, he saw rough-looking men with weapons gathered around a fire. At first, he thought they were travelers, but then his gaze locked onto the bamboo cage nearby. Inside, pale and terrified girls clung together in silence. A chill ran down his spine as the dreadful truth struck him. Abandoning any thought of drawing water, he turned and hurried down the slope, heart pounding wildly. His steps grew faster, heavier, driven by a single thought: he must warn the others. The village stood on the edge of disaster, with only moments left to prepare. That night, heavy rain poured down, icy drops seeping through the gaps of the bamboo cage. The girl curled up close to the others, seeking warmth in the hopeless dark. No one dared to speak, only the sound of rain tapping and the heavy rhythm of anxious breaths. In the suffocating blackness, she thought of her parents, of her mother's gentle embrace and her father's rare smile. A bitter ache welled up in her chest, making her feel as if life itself had stolen away every fragment of hope. Lost in sorrow, she suddenly heard her name being called. The voice was faint, like a whisper on the wind, yet strangely clear. She opened her eyes and peered into the shadows. A figure slowly emerged, drawing nearer with each step. Her heartbeat raced, her throat dry with fear. When the face finally revealed itself, she froze in horror. It was her stepfather, the cruel man who had tormented her before. "Don't worry, my dear," he whispered, his voice chilling. "They won't sell you. They won't want you. Once you're dead." The words pierced her soul like knives. She screamed, panic overwhelming her. Yet in an instant, the apparition dissolved, replaced by a real bandit looming outside the cage. He slammed his stick against the bamboo and snarled, "Shut up! One more sound, and I'll slit all your throats." The air inside the cage grew stifling, filled with silent anger and despair. The girls glared at her, their eyes full of blame and misery. She lowered her head, crushed by shame and pain, wishing for death as a release from her torment. At dawn, after the rain had lifted, one bandit quietly slipped away from the camp. He followed a narrow path to the valley and watched the village from afar. From the hillside, he saw the villagers gathered in the largest building at the center, most of the men already inside. A cruel grin spread across his face. This was the perfect chance. He rushed back and reported to his comrades, and together they planned their strike. Surround the villagers, kill the men, and seize the wealth of the entire settlement. That night, the bandits descended under the cover of darkness, closing in on the village. Believing their plan flawless, they approached the large building only to be met by a sudden eruption. The men of the village stepped forward, brandishing sharp bamboo spears, their eyes gleaming in the firelight. The villagers had known of their scheme and were ready to fight. An elder advanced, his voice steady. "You have been discovered. Leave this place now, or face the consequences." But the bandits scoffed at his warning, laughing cruelly. "You are weak," they sneered. "You are not killers. We are the killers." In the next moment, arrows sliced through the air. From the shadows, 3 skilled archers unleashed a storm of death. Men collapsed one after another, blood staining the ground. Within moments, the cries of agony faded into silence, and the village lay in ruin. The bandits had claimed it all. Every life, every home, every possession. The aftermath was grim and suffocating. Every man of the village lay dead, their homes and land now ruled by ruthless hands. From inside the bamboo cage, the girl and the others trembled, forced to watch as their final hope was extinguished before their eyes. The cruel laughter of the bandits carried through the valley, heralding their brutal reign. The girl clenched her fists, tears mingling with the rain still clinging to her tangled hair. Pain, fear, and a growing hatred swelled within her chest, like a fire waiting to ignite. And in that darkness, her fate began to shift, leading to even greater horrors yet to come in the next chapter.